Hello folks, and welcome to Erannorth Reborn. Today we will be doing something different, and instead of unlocking a new race, we will be unlocking two classes, Inquisitor and Witch. Accept, accept. So the Inquisitor has slashing, fire and light as affinities, and the Witch has slashing, piercing and astral. And I'm thinking that I might be able to make an interesting Inquisitor Witch character, with the backstory that she was an Inquisitor that decided to leave the Order and become a witch. And maybe this time around we can also add an organization to the mix. And I guess she was part of the Order of Light, so no, it doesn't matter what she was. She joined the Canticum Noctem. That's what she did. Okay, so she was a former Inquisitor that is now in Witch and joined the Canticum Noctem, and her name is Locke. Okay, so how we will use our stats. As you can see, we don't have any resistances, and most of our affinities are a bit mediocre because we don't have the large bonus and penalties that race gives. No matter, let's increase our intellect to 15. We will benefit from a larger hand size, and we do need astral, and we do need light, but I think I will raise my resilience to 10 and maybe exchange my willpower with agility. I mean, if we were Inquisitor, we did have some physical training. Okay, let's play in normal. So, this time we will be getting into organizations, and we will be getting into some interesting topics like echo chains. So before we get to all that though, I will get witchcraft traditions. And this will give us this card here, which has synergy multicast. And this means that after you play Unclad, the card that you play next will be multicast, which is a very powerful effect. Cards with synergy multicast are really powerful, and you should be looking out for them if your class, race or archetype combination allows them. And we also get the Shadow Host, and if you are curious of what a faction can add to the mix, you can type it here, Shadow Host. But on the other hand, let's not take a faction. Since we took organization, let's not overcomplicate things and make our card drops too unreliable. Okay, so we got our perks, and this is the skills that you will be unlocking. But first you need to have the necessary mastery. And something that you can do here, except from clicking and checking them out, is pressing the home key will create this on hover effect that you can also disable by pressing again the home key. You can also visualize them by using the O to view them in a card format. And the most useful functionality of this skills tab is to actually see your progression. Equipment, we have an athame and we have a silver longsword. So she's still using her silver longsword. Let's go to our deck builder. Okay, so there are some pretty expensive stuff here. Echo actions give you an extra benefit after you click and turn, and it might go for more than one turns, that extra benefit. So they can also participate in echo chains, which can create some interesting and free combos, so they are worth their cost. What I want to do is add these unclad cards and remove down to 24. My deck requirement is actually 18 because I'm playing with a class, but I want to show you as many cards as possible, and also leveling them would be interesting in the long run because we will have more options when we will adjust our deck later on. Okay, so this is it, our deck. I will be talking about these cards more as we are drawing them. Okay, so Brand Heretic. Vulnerable 2, deal 1 to 3 fire damage. Shield of Glory. Synergy Retribution, Synergy Wrath, and Defend 2. So what will happen if let's play Synergy. Let's play Shield of Glory on this enemy right here. So we got Retribution and we got Wrath. Retribution will boost our Wrath damage by 5, but at this point, when we play this card, we don't have the Retribution just yet, so let's play Jinx here. We dealt 3 astral damage. Wrath will deal the damage of the card that you put it. So if you put it on a fire card or in a slashing card, it will make a difference as the element will be different. And let's now use this. And we have a Retribution 5, so this means that the Wrath 3 will now deal 8 damage. But she resisted 1 slashing. Okay. And now I will take Brand Heretic and put it on the Priestess of the Sun. So what will happen when I end my turn is that Shield of Glory will give me Defend 2 and give me Synergy Retribution 5, and it will give me Synergy Wrath 3. And then Brand Heretic is played on the Priestess of the Sun. So it will get this Synergy Retribution, it will get this Synergy Wrath, and because of the damaging nature of these effects, they will go and hit the target this Brand Heretic is on, so dead. And that was the sound of retribution. So, Shield of Glory, after I ended my turn, Echo Actions trigger. Shield of Glory went on the Priestess of the Sun, gave me these synergies. Then, Brand Heretic was played, absorbing these synergies and hitting the Priestess of the Sun with them. And because of the vulnerable, that was too much for her to handle actually. So, once more, Shield of Glory, and we don't even have to use this synergy right now, but this is the card that we will be played once we end our turn. So end of turn, she will die. And setting up echo chains in tough enemies is a good way to manage smart your action points. Okay, so as I said, we will be playing with our organization cards in this run. And we will be playing with the Canticum Noctem Organization. Their signature ability is Coven. And where is the explanation of Coven? Right here. Exhaust the first X active witches you control. So you need to control witches for Coven to work. You gain plus X in power and double that amount in defend for each active witch you exhausted this way, and plus 1 fatigue per witch you couldn't exhaust. So what does this mean? Okay, if I play Bind and I don't have any witches, I will get fatigue too after playing Bind, because it was a Coven activity and I did it all on my own. But if I have the 2 witches to exhaust, then I will get 2 empower and 4 defend, and no fatigue, in addition to any other effects this card does. So let's add it to the stash for now. And as a Night Witch, there are some perks that can improve this Coven ability, but since we are not playing with a Night Witch is a special organization class that we will be playing way down the road. And you will see how Coven can become even more powerful than what we will experience today. Okay, so next, Effigy of Pain. Deals piercing, deals intense, and also gives you synergy intense, which is perfect. Let's add it here. Synergies in the channel ether. We also get to amplify our astral damage, which is good. Now if we had Grace, we don't, we would also deal 3 intense damage. But as it stands, we'll deal 4 to 9 astral. Let's command our familiar to appear. And you have the option to materialize your familiar. We will lose 3 hit points and play either of these. You have also the option to gather components, but it requires herbalism. We don't have any. And you can also unsummon your familiar to benefit from a teamwork and power. This is a very much strong empowerment card, but your familiar will lose every level they gained. Okay, let's play a familiar. So you can choose between the Black Raven, which have Divination and Jinx, or the cat familiar, which has foresight. And I will get the cat familiar because I like foresight. Okay. Let's use foresight. We don't have grace to spend, so I won't draw this. I will just end my turn. So, the poet and the pond. Let's save the poor guy. We get the gloomy poet. So once we cast the gloomy poet, we craft a haunting melody, which is an echo card with synergy penetrate and amplify dark. And synergy penetrate will add to the potential of your next card, so it can affect higher level targets. And his ability is melancholy, so if the enemy has vulnerable 4, then we doom them. And doom will reanimate them as a zombie if they die. We also inflict vulnerable. If we don't play melancholy, it will mutate to gloom. It has synergy weaken, it inflicts doom, so the enemy will become a zombie if they die. And if they have 4 doom on them, then we also deal a sloth effect, which discard our hand and deal 2 damage per discarded card. And continue. Now, if you know what the other option gives, then you probably will never pick this poor gloomy poet, because the other options are way so much better. But let's give him a chance, see what he's made of. Okay, smite heretic. Draw. We care about slashing and bludgeoning, so stars. If we have grace, then Scourge will deal vulnerable 3 and 2 to 4 bludgeonic chaotic damage to a random enemy. Otherwise it will deal 2 to 4 damage to the target. Hex Shield. If the enemy has hexed you, then you draw 2 additional cards. And you also have Defend and Resist Astral. That's pretty nice. If you fight with fellow witches. But I will get the Scourge to my deck. Well, if nothing else, he's worth just for the vocal to play this guy. Okay, so let's create some zombies. I will let this to mutate to gloom. So if we kill the dire leopard, it will become a zombie, and we also have a synergy weaken, which we don't So you remember this zombie for the Necromancer playthrough. If the enemy has Doom, then we draw one, weaken one, and deal poison. So together with the zombies, the poet becomes quite interesting. And also if you can inflict vulnerable 4, it's also interesting. Okay, in the meantime, let's play Unclad. And Unclad will give multicast to the next card you will play, whatever that card is. If it's an ally, you will multicast the ally card and you will create 2 allies, unless they are unique, of course. And you can also bewitch the targets, which means that now these 2 guys will fight their allies or harm themselves. Let's destroy this one. Let Melancholy mutate to Gloom. So he will become a zombie once dead. Because he has Doom, I will get to draw a card. And now he's a zombie. We can right click to activate Intense and just kill him like so. Now the only reason I played this card is to get rid of it. I could also discard it. I don't want to use any of these cards. I don't want to lose my familiar. So if you don't need your command familiar card, you can either remove it after you summon your familiar or keep it for the unravel effect, which can be very interesting. Conjured Spellblade. Morph is an ability that basically unlocks an extra effect once this card reaches level 2. So when it reaches level 2, it gains the Morph ability, which is a vulnerable 1. So here it is. At the max level, this Morph becomes vulnerable 1. And each card will have a different benefit, unlock at a different stage of the card's evolution. If it's Night, we get Empower 2, Amplify Dark, and our Witch allies get +1 lifespan. Let's add this to our stash. So we can't bewitch either, because we are level 1. So our potential is level 1. It's 1 at the moment. But we can multicast Shield of Glory. That would be interesting. So what will happen when you multicast an Echo card? It's for starters that the Echo part is lost. So you can't multicast Echo and Fury together. It will either use Echo, it will either use Multicast, or it will either use Fury. And in this case, it will use Multicast. So once we multicast this card, let's see what happens. So first we get this Synergy Multicast and this Synergy Bewitch, and then we are playing a copy of Shield of Glory to this guy here. So this copy gets a Synergy Retribution and a Synergy Wrath. And it also gives Synergy Retribution and Synergy Wrath. So it gets its own synergy, and it also passes it to the next card. And we get Retribution 5 and Wrath 3. And then we pass Retribution 5 and Wrath 3 to the next copy. So it has the synergy and also the effects. Deals Wrath to Lana, and your next action will get Retribution and Wrath. So let's use it here. We can benefit from the healing and from the extra defend. Let's play the Homunculus. Trigger the defense ward. We have Grace, so this will deal 3 intense damage, in addition to what it already does. Unfortunately, we damage Lana too much, so defensive stance gives her a 50% chance to avoid our retribution. Let's get Astral Lass. Cover loses all her vulnerable counters, and we can't target them with ranged cards, so Astral Missile won't work on her, but our sword will. So we get Astral Lass and we get Dead Pain Blade. Let's go to Deck Builder. Now that I show you how the Brand Heretic, Smite Heretic combo work, or I didn't, I don't remember. Investigate Smite Heretic. Okay, let's wait a bit. Okay, so let's use Unclad, we get Grace, and now we can multicast this Astral Missile. We are level 2, so we can affect level 2 enemies. Okay, so Brand Heretic and Smite Heretic, as we were saying, let's use them here. Now that this enemy has Brand Heretic, Smite Heretic will deal an additional Wrath 4. So it will deal 6 to 9 bludgeoning damage and stealth to 2 to 5. Have the vulnerable counters from Brand Heretic. As well as okay, so now that we did see how Brand Heretic and Smite Heretic play along, there are more cards that benefit from Brand Heretic, so we might put them back in, but for now I want to instead add these Deadbane Blades to my deck. Let's get this to my hand. Inside has a potential of 2, so it can be used as a vessel for bewitching some of our enemies. And we can also get to gain 10 XP out of inside because we multicast it. So we get 5 XP twice. Brace deals additional intense damage. Side. Harm himself. We still have grace, so this one will apply vulnerable and deal 2 to 4 damage to a random enemy and to him. We still have grace. So as you can see, having this, just having this grace can make your cards much more interesting. And same goes with all custom resources. Concealment prevents our retribution.
No, what else is new?
So we're good aligned wits despite our gloom and doom. So let's help this little girl. What's the meaning of this? So it's an ambush. Some of them are level 3. So let's use our multicast to Hunting Melody, which has a synergy penetrate, and Haunting Melody will take its own penetrate bonus, and we might be able to bewitch these two guys. So as you can see, the potential that we checked against is 4. Despite our card had only 2 potential because of this penetrate bonus. So this. Okay, let's multicast our healing light. We won't affect any of them, but we will refill our hit points. Let's make a zombie. So he's at his healing threshold. This means attack here. We have a 4 defend.
Oh no!
So he used defensive stance. Okay, that was a bit tough for our level, but we did it. And our reward is an assassin's ring. Or a pawn ring. Or both. So if the enemy has Doom 4, then we also get Sloth, but they don't. So let's make this into a zombie. We can weaken this one. Let's use Unclad with Foresight. We will get plenty of defend and also attempt to bewitch 2 targets. We have Grace too, so we can use Mesmerize here. And let's multicast our longsword. Dreamcatcher. This is very good. Restore 4 action points and draw 1. Or restore 6 action points and draw 1. To inventory. Let's equip the Dreamcatcher. And we didn't assign our level up benefits. So what I will do now is get the Noctem Novitiate rank, which will unlock the lieutenants of the organization at the next level. As a witch, we can also get a herbal lore in addition to the normal herbalism perks, which will unlock a vast world of herbs for us. Not at the moment. So our first priority as a witch is to form our coven. And to do that we need more witches. We don't have silver. We don't have grace, sorry. But we can still just use these cards. Let's use this one first. We don't have grace, but let's play Will-O-Wisp. We can either attack or use his intense ability. Either way it will last only for a turn. Okay. So at this point I will unequip my longsword. I can always equip it whenever we need it. And work a bit on my intellect.
No, what else is new?
So these are level 2. We don't really need Haunting Melody. Let's play Shield of Glory here. Let's give him Doom. Multicast Shield of Glory. He will take the most of the Wrath damage, and we will also end up with an additional Wrath and Retribution bonus. And we can kill him. Astral Surge ignores synergies, targets yourself and deals 6 to 13 damage to 2 random enemies. Nice. It will also unravel to an area of effect 1. So it will deal 1 damage to every enemy in the battlefield if we don't play it. Sounds good to me. Like, minimize, let's create another one. Gloom. Ah, they are reactions. Nice. No need to stocking them up. Let's mark this as the replacement. Future sight. And we have strain 2, which means our next action costs 2 action points less. He resists all our slashing damage. So he's a lycanthrope. Let's draw our silver sword in the next turn. Can also give 3 vulnerable on this guy. We have grace. Let's start with this. Okay, so now this healing light will discard one of them and give me empower 3. So this action was casted empowered by 3. I healed 5, I dealt 6 intense, and now empower waned, and I still have 2, and it will stay at 2. And we still have grace, so okay. So Malik is an Undine mystic from the Ordo Tenebris. He takes more piercing and more earth and more fire. Ah, more earth, ωραία. Nice. So let's add this Wrath synergy into our earth card. And we can always use Unclad on his minions. Harmed himself, hard Malik, shielded his allies, and he's gone.
No, what else is new?
so I will discard this. And I will unequip my silver sword. So that's here. We can multicast the astral missiles. Both got bewitched. I will mark this OP2 for replacement.
Coincidence.
So none of them is undead, but we can still deal some slashing damage. Wrath deals more damage because you must expend any retribution you have to add it to your Wrath. And these allies didn't go damage because the enemy was bewitched. Let's add this to my stars. Okay, so let's at this point get a lieutenant. And you have 4 lieutenants and you can pick one of them. All 4 of them, but only one can be in play, and they have a single use card. So if you get Jesse and then regret it and want Chloe, for example, then if you play Chloe, Jesse is gone. Okay. So Jessie has an ability that lets her heal and grow her power as a morale. So when she attacks an enemy and deals damage, she heals 4 hit points and gets +1 power. And in case you wonder why, that's because she's a vampire witch. And also have the Feel the Pain and the Talk ability, which we'll see what it can do. There is also Chloe. Her morale is ranged, so that's good because it won't trigger nasty counterattacks or spiked armors, for example. Kathleen has a demise ability, so when she dies, all her allies gets power 4. And Halima, once she dies, she gets to craft a wish. And each one is interesting in their own accord, but I will get Jessie for this run. And we also have 40 perk points more. We can get Night Song, we can get Herbal Lore, we can get Conviction, Hermetic Studies. I think Hermetic Studies is a good choice, as is Chanting, because it will give you Ritual. So let's get Chanting. Advance in the path of witchcraft. And I will add Jessie to my deck, and I will also add 3 rituals. And thus we become more of a witch. We can become less of an inquisitor. Okay, sounds good. Future sight. We can multicast our astral missiles. Shield of glory. We can't bewitch any of these guys, but we can buff our defense and retribution. Now, Aura of Darkness is a nasty effect because it will heal them and hurt our allies and my character. And it will stay even if the enemy dies because it's attached to your portrait. And you can click here to read more.
No, what else is new?
Let's add some retribution. And I don't need this. So basically I will let him come to me and finish him off with my allies. Okay, let's get one strike. Once it gets its morph ability, it has the on draw craft one strike. So when you draw it, you will craft one more. And you get to deal 12 intense for one action point, for 1 and 1, 2. Pretty cool. Let's add it to our deck. And at this point, I will stop this video and resume with the next one. So I will be seeing you today with, we will finish this run today, but just in case I will change recording. So I will be seeing you soon. Bye bye.